How's it going, everybody? My name is GriimYT and welcome back to a brand new video. So today, guys, I'm going to be doing something a bit different. As you can see on your screen, I'm going to be doing a bass music artist tier list. Now, a couple months ago, I think now, Connor Whitmore, aka Nawtystep, did a video on his channel of a bass music album tier list. And it was really entertaining to watch because I really love tier list videos. I used to do them for Geometry Dash and I used to watch them a lot. So I really like the whole tier list format. Some people hate it, but I really think it's fun. And so today what I'm going to be doing is, instead of albums, I'm going to be doing artists, because I've listened to a lot more artists than albums, so I decided artists would be a cool idea. So as you can see, I've got a huge collection of artists here. A lot of them I've covered on my channel, but I also threw in a few bonus ones too. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Let's get started. So the first artist, actually I should say artists on the list, are Knife Party, a duo that I've been a fan of for years now, since high school actually. I've loved Knife Party and their sound. Recently their stuff's been kind of eh. The Lost Souls EP was not very good in my opinion. I did like a couple of tracks, but for the most part it was nothing close to, you know, Abandoned Ship, their album, or Haunted House, or Rage Valley, or even a Trigger Warning for that matter. So I'm going to put Knife Party down in the C tier. I think their stuff is okay, but some of their newer stuff is just, I think some of their newer stuff's okay. The older stuff, that stuff's classic. You know, Internet Friends, Destroy Them with Lasers, Bonfire, Haunted House, what was the one, Power Glove? All that stuff's classic, but some of their newer stuff's kind of eh. So yeah, I think C tier is good for them. Alright, next up here we have Yuki. Yuki, I checked out their newest EP, Wookie, and obviously they have a bit of a reputation, if you guys remember the Fission EP on Subsidia. I think Yuki deserves to be in the F tier. Honestly, I put them in this video just so they could be in the F tier, because it makes the list look a little nicer if they're in the F tier. However, I think they'd probably put themselves in the F tier too. Not bad music, just not really my thing, so F tier for them. Alright, next up here we have Boss Fight. My man, Boss Fight. Easy A tier for Boss Fight. Love the guy. Great stuff. Ever since the Newground days, I've been following him, and now to see him on Monster Cat creating some amazing stuff, I just love him. He's releasing a new EP soon, he said, and the next single is going to be out soon too. Very excited for that. Bright future ahead for him. Love Boss Fight. So yeah, A tier for him. Alright, next up here we have Adam Paleo, aka Wooly. By the way, just so you guys know, I'm using this app to randomize who I get instead of going down the list. I'm going to randomize it. So next up we have Wooly. I think Wooly's pretty good. Some good songs, but some mediocre stuff, so I'm going to put him in the C tier as well. He's got some okay songs. I really like Cyclone. Oops, I meant to save it. I really like Cyclone. I really like the Throw It Up from Mammoth EP. But for the most part, Wooly's kind of eh. So I think C tier is a good spot for him too. Alright, next up here, 26, we have Virtual Riot. Virtual Riot is an artist who a few years ago I probably would have put somewhere in the D tier, maybe the C tier, but I've grown to really like his stuff, so I'm going to bump him up to the B tier. His latest album, Simulation, had some incredible songs on it. Really liked it a lot. And I really like his Brittum style, or his kind of like rhythm-y kind of style to it. It's really great. So yeah, I think B tier is pretty good for him. Alright, next up here we have Temanite. Temanite is another artist who I've been following for a long time. Really like his stuff a lot. His newest album, Raise a Black Flag, last year, I covered on my channel. Awesome album. I love Temanite. I think he deserves to be in the A tier. Great stuff from him. I really love his style. Awesome artist. So yeah, A tier, pretty good for him. Alright, next up here we have Trampa. Trampa is an artist who, I have to say, I hated before. Like in my top 5 video I explained that I hated him before, but now I've really grown to love him. I think his style's pretty good, so I'm going to put him in the B tier next to Virtual Riot. I think he's pretty good. Some of his newer stuff I think is actually great. The Disrespect album has some incredible songs on it. So yeah, he's another great artist too. B tier I think is a good spot for him. Alright, next up here we have Company. Company is an artist that I have to say I like his collaborations more than his actual songs. He did one with, who was it? Bear Grylls recently. Really like that. The one he did this year with Hi I'm Ghost as well, pretty good. I think I'm going to put him in the B tier as well. I think he's pretty good. So I like his style. The track he did with Excision as well, Clockwork, awesome stuff. I think B tier is good for him as well. Alright, next up here we have Snails. Oops, I'm still on Company's layer. Hold on. We have Snails. Snails is somebody that I have to say I've really liked a lot, actually. I think he's okay. I'm going to put him in the C tier he's pretty hit or miss for me. Some of his stuff is great, but some of his stuff is kind of, you know, eh. So I think C tier is kind of good. C tier is kind of like they have some decent songs, but there's also some that I just don't like. So I think C tier is also good for Snails. Yeah, I really like the Slime Time Part 3 EP. There's a couple tracks in there that I really enjoyed. So yeah, he's pretty cool. Alright, next up we have Excision. Big man Excision. Excision, I have to say, a lot of people will disagree with this placement, I would say, but I'm putting him in the A tier. I love him. One of my favorite bass music artists ever. I mean, come on now. He's like probably the father of modern bass music, I would say. What he's done for the community and what he's done himself, just amazing. His newest album, Onyx, got a ton of backlash, but I have a soft spot for it. I actually enjoyed it a lot. A tier is pretty fair for him, and yeah, I can't wait to see what else he releases next. Alright, next up, at the next spot, we have Space Laces. Now, Space Laces, I think, deserves to be in one tier, and that's the E tier. Alright, let's be real here. He's got to go in the E tier, okay? What else is there to say? Just one of the most creative and talented artists in bass music. I think E tier is perfect for him, and yeah, definitely deserves that one. Alright, next up we have Uber, who is an artist I covered pretty recently on my channel. I did his Tomb World EP, which was really, really great. I also love the Relinquish and the Odium EPs from last year. B tier for Uber. Really, really cool artist. Love his style, the art that he uses for his stuff. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I think B tier is good for him. Alright, next up we have Miroda, the king of heavy tear-out dubstep. I'm going to put Miroda in the C tier. They may be a little controversial, but I think his stuff is also pretty hit or miss. He's got some incredible tracks. The Malignant EP, his newest album, Ascension, right, had some great stuff. But some of his stuff is kind of eh. So I'm still kind of new to the whole tear-out thing, so I think C tier is good for him for now. But yeah, I can't wait to see what else he does next, too, because he's got some cool IDs I've heard. So yeah, let's see what he does next, but I think C tier for him. Alright, next up here we have Spaghetti. Spaghetti is an artist that I've really, really enjoyed. He is the first S tier. Mwah. Love Spaghetti. I love his style. He's got some incredible tracks. I just got to put him in the S tier, 100%. Just an incredible artist. I can't wait to hear what his new album is sounding like, because he teased it as well. On Twitter, he posted a picture. I can't wait to see what that is like. Yeah, S tier for him. Love him. Alright, next up here, we have Marshmallow. Now, Marshmallow may seem like a bit of an outlier compared to everybody else because he's more like a poppy kind of EDM artist rather than like heavy bass music, but I covered him on my channel, so I thought I'd throw him in the list as well. I'm going to put Marshmallow in the C tier. He's got some pretty decent songs. I really liked his last album, Shockwave, and he's got some pretty classics, obviously Alone, Happier with Bastille. I thought I'd throw him in here, so here he is. I think C tier is good for him. I'm curious to see what Joytime 4, I think it is, sounds like. Definitely going to cover that on my channel. But the track that he released on it, Before You, really, really cool. So, yeah, I think C tier is good for him. Alright, next up here, we have Spider Mike, a.k.a. Eptic. I love Eptic. Really, really cool artist. I'm going to put him in the B tier. His latest album was awesome, End of the World. I covered it on my channel. Really, really cool project. Think B tier is a pretty good spot for him. Alright, next up we have Must Die. Must Die is somebody that I probably would put in the B or C tier, but I'm going to throw him in the A tier. I really like his latest single, Angelware. The Crisis Vision album has some spicy tracks on it. He's got some classics, obviously Chaos, Bliss 2K. I'm really excited to see what else he does next too. So yeah, definitely A tier for him. I really like his stuff a lot. Alright, next up here we have, who do we have here? 16 is Riot 10. Riot 10 is an artist that I threw in here because he was pretty popular. Not really a fan of him, sorry guys. We're going to put him in the D tier. He's like Yuki, I kind of threw him in here to put him in the D tier. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of him. I checked out his latest EP, Ad Infinitum. Not really a fan of his style, so yeah, D tier. Not a bad artist by any means, just not really my kind of thing, so I think that's a good spot for him. Alright, next up here we have Barely Alive. Barely Alive is somebody I thought of because I did a video on him. He's kind of alright too. I'm going to put Barely Alive in the D tier because I think his style's okay, but not really a fan of his stuff either. I checked out a ton of songs. I do like Break Him Down a lot, but a lot of the other stuff I checked out, just not really my thing. So I think D tier is alright for him. Not a bad artist by any means. Really, really talented and creative dudes, but they're just not really my thing either. Alright, next up we have Datsik, who I just covered on my channel yesterday. I love Datsik. I know this may be very controversial to a lot of people. A lot of people may, you know, not agree with this placement at all. I'm putting Datsik in the S tier. I just love his style. I love his whole thing. He is one of my favorite bass music artists ever. I just love the guy to death. So yeah, Datsik definitely goes in S tier. Really cool stuff. I really hope he comes back with some more fire because I love his music. So yeah, S tier for him. All right, 29 here. Layer 29 is Zomboy. I really like Zomboy. Really, really do. I think A tier is perfect for him. A classic artist, obviously been around the block. Never Say Die Records staple, and great artist. I really liked his latest track, Flatline, with Mika Martin on his new label, Rotten Roll Records. Awesome to see that. Yeah, awesome artist. I really hope he's releasing some more stuff on that label soon too. Maybe a new EP or something. Great artist. Definitely deserves the A tier. Alright, next up we have Subtronix. Subtronix is an artist that I actually enjoy, but I would say he's pretty hit or miss, so I'm going to put him in the B tier as well. He's got some pretty real, he's got some great tracks, but he also has some ones I just don't like at all. Like his latest album, Fractals, had some great tracks on it, but had some ones I just didn't like at all. So that's why I'm putting him in the B tier. And yeah, I think he's got some really creative styles and ideas to his music, but I think a B tier is a good spot for him. Alright, next up here we have Panda Eyes. S tier right off the bat. Easy. My favorite bass music artist out there right now. I love Panda Eyes. I've been a fan of him since like 2016, 2017. Just such a talented and creative dude. I'm really, really excited to see what he's releasing next too. I've loved him for so many years. His style, his approach as well to bass music, where he's got like kind of like a melodic but also really heavy side to him. Amazing stuff. So yeah, instant S tier. Love you, Panda Eyes. Alright, and the next two artists we have here are Riot. Another S tier, boom, right up there. What can you say? Just top of the line, incredible artists. The Dogma Resistance album, which I actually have the vinyl of right here. Look at that. Amazing. Even their singles after that, Jackknife, Herbivore, Juggernaut, their latest one, Machina. Amazing guys. They have a bunch of IDs they tease on their Twitter. Some of them are so spicy, man. I love Riot. The future's looking bright for them. Definitely S tier. Alright, next up we have Mr. Getter, an artist who has been around for a long time now. Really cool dude. I'm going to put Getter in the B tier. Really cool artist. Really like his stuff, so I think a B tier is a good spot for him. He did a lot of shows recently with Space Laces. They tease some new IDs they've been working on. They sound spicy. Definitely deserves the B tier. Alright, next up we have Dex Arson, who is definitely the most unknown artist in this list, but I put him in here because I still love the guy, and he is the reason he's the reason that I'm into bass music so much. Ever since I've heard some of his music in Geometry Dash, I just loved the whole like dubstep thing that he did, and that's kind of what led me down the bass music path. So I'm going to put him in A tier for that. He hasn't released anything recently. I think the last song was a couple years ago. That song's incredible. Death Squad with Charlie Zane. The song he did before that, Mobsta, was also awesome. And yeah, overall just a really awesome artist. And I definitely enjoy his music a lot. So A tier for him. Alright, next up here we have Sudden Death. Another artist who I didn't cover on my channel, but I put in here. I'm going to put Sudden Death in the C tier because he's got some good songs, but his style, like a lot of the artists, are kind of hit or miss for me. So I think C tier is good for him. I definitely enjoyed Void 2 a lot. That was a great album. So yeah, that was cool, but I think C tier is a good spot for him. So the final artist in here is, as you can see on your screen, Far Too Loud. Now, Far Too Loud is an artist that I put in here because I love to bits. This guy is going in the S tier too. Just love his style. I love his style so much. Amazing artist, super talented and creative. He hasn't released anything in a few years, which is why I was hesitant to put him in here, but I can't deny, just the dude is so awesome. Yeah, S tier for him as well. Awesome stuff for him. Alright, and that is my bass music artist tier list. This was really fun to do. I love making tier lists, so maybe I'll do like EPs or albums, or maybe like something else music related, but I thought this was awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you would change, who you would move around, yeah, because I think it'd be cool to see if everyone really kind of agrees with me or not, but I think this was a pretty good list. I really like it, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace.